And here we are.
Yes, again.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to all of you out there. When you're seeing this, it will be the new year.
I guess.
Well, I hope so.
It could be an extension of the old year.
Well, there's always some hangover from... Oh, that's a terrible pun. Well, darling, are you making any New Year's resolutions?
Gosh, let me think. Yes.
Tell me.
I think I'm going to shine my shoes at least once a month.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll look like Fred Astaire when
Yeah.
I wander through the market.
Okay.
And I will probably be shedding.
What are you going to shed?
Oh, whatever I don't need. I'm going down to bare bone.
Are you really?
Bare bone.
Weight?
Well, yes, that's
You're going to shed weight?
That's the euphemism, is to shed. You see, if I say I'm going to lose weight, then someone will wonder where I lost it.
Or if they ought to find it for you.
If they ought to find it for me,
like
right.
give you fudge and...
Yes. That's wonderful when people bring you gifts that are just going to bulk you up.
Well, that's known as something you re-gift. You know, that's a word that never entered my vocabulary until most recently. But
to re-gift.
To re-gift, I think, is a wonderful, you know, it's all those things that you got that you can't possibly use or keep, or you don't have space for. You re-gift them. Yes. It helps.
Yes, it does.
But tell me, darling, what other resolutions have you made? You're going to shed.
I'm going to shed. I'm going to write a novel starring my favorite Silky Terrier McGee.
Okay, sounds good.
And Detective McGee.
Detective McGee.
And the name of the working title for the book is Dig Dog Dig.
Dig Dog Dig.
And it's the adventures of Detective McGee.
The adventures, okay. Sounds good.
And this is I've never spoken as a dog over the years.
Woof.
Woof, woof, yes. Over the years as a writer, I've done numerous things, none of which were particularly eventful. But I wrote PR releases, I wrote dust jackets, I even edited a few books. And now I've found my voice, and I will be speaking as a dog.
Okay, I hope people will understand you.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Do they understand woof?
Well, you must understand that dogs don't have incredible vocabularies. So it's not as though I have to write with any particular flair.
No.
I can use simple, easygoing words.
Yeah.
Like did, do, don't, you know, things of that.
Yeah, in other words, a dog speaks simply, and a dog doesn't make literary references.
Well, how could he? A dog hasn't. I mean, McGee, however, is different.
He's very smart.
Yes,
you know.
and Marjorie Pierpont, his owner companion, leaves PBS on for him. So
that's true. So he does learn.
He does learn
What
sporadic
I wonder
things.
what his favorite shows are.
Mysteries, I think.
Ah, that's what
I think he likes mysteries.
He likes the mysteries.
And he likes to curl up on Marjorie's daybed and watch Channel 2 while she's engaged in other activities.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting. Yeah. I like, you know, I really enjoy reading the McGee stories and helping a little bit with them. And you spoke about creating a synonym. No, that's the wrong word. What is it? You know, when you have a pseudonym.
Yes.
A pseudonym because it's sort of written by both of us in a sense. I mean, you do the original stuff and then I help out. So we're talking
I thought
about
it could be a name that people would be familiar with. You know, like E. Hemingway might be good, or Bill Faulkner, or J. Steinbeck. He actually wrote a wonderful travel book.
Those are all male.
Well, yes.
We should have an androgynous name.
An androgynous name.
Yes, because of what combination of men and women would be androgynous.
How about Delilah Hemingway?
No.
No, you don't like
That's not
Delilah
androgynous.
You know, like
It has to be
Delilah.
a name like Francis, or no, that doesn't work either because that's spelled differently.
Oh,
from
we'll
anyone.
go with the initials. FPH.
Oh, good. That's fine.
It's by FPH.
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 All right. Aren't you going to ask me what my New Year's resolutions are?
I thought I was getting around to it.
When?
I'll find out. What are your New Year's resolutions?
Well, I have one big one, and that is not to take anything for granted.
Absolutely.
And what that means is that I remember when I'm in the shower to be grateful for the nice hot water. You never know when that hot water goes away, you know.
And you don't want hot water anywhere except the shower.
Exactly.
I mean, hot water out of the shower is
Well,
not
it's
a
all
good
good
idea.
in tea, too.
Yes.
But yes, exactly. From the faucet. That's one resolution. I usually make two that I think I can keep, or at least I work on keeping throughout the year. And so that's my first one. And my second one is to be generous. Generosity.
I think you are generous.
To think generously.
I think you already do that.
Well, you taught me to be generous, but sometimes I catch myself not being generous, and those are the times when I want to think about being generous. So those are my two resolutions, to be aware of and thereby grateful for, because I'm not taking for granted whatever it is, like this TV show. I mean, this is really fun to do, right? I wouldn't want to take it for granted, nor would I want to take for granted the good offices of our friend Chris, who makes it such a nice TV show for people to see.
Well, I'm very
And
grateful
he's so kind
too.
as to put it on YouTube and Facebook for us, which is something that otherwise we would have problems doing because we're not that good at being the...
You see what it is. People make these far-flung
Like I'm going to lose weight.
New Year's resolutions, and by the 5th of January, they're history. I'm not going to eat wheat anymore. It's hard to do.
Yeah, especially when someone shows up with their cookies at the door.
And a pizza, you know.
Oh, and a pizza for sure.
Or I'm going to become a vegan, and I'm not going to wear wool, because God forbid that comes from the sheep. you know.
Right.
Or I'm going to join a health club and exercise 22 hours a week.
Whoa.
Now, unless someone is doing that, these platitudes don't really last very long.
Well, they can do it. I mean, one time I made a resolution. I was going to write a poem every day. And that lasted me for approximately 3 weeks.
Well, that's pretty good.
And then I realized I was having to catch up and write 2 or 3 poems in order to write a poem a day because I was getting behind.
I did
It was unrealistic.
now that I think of it, I did make a New Year's resolution years ago that I live by.
Yeah?
And that was I was going to read a play every month.
A play?
A play.
Yeah?
Yeah, play.
What plays do you read?
And that was then. I read a Eugene O'Neill, I read an Ionesco.
That's a very
It
good
was-
resolution, actually.
And it's easy to read a play if you forget about the stage directions and you just read it, you know, you can get it done quickly and then ponder it and think about it and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, that was my
Well, I changed my
resolution.
New Year's resolution to read a poem whenever I felt inspired. And I
Okay.
did pretty well with that in writing more poetry. But that was actually also, there was a reason for that, and that was because I was dedicating the writing of poetry to my son Robin, who loved poetry and wrote it himself. And after he died, I wanted to establish a kind of a memorial for him.
Right.
And I did, by writing poetry.
Good.
I mean, I always wrote poetry, but by writing more consciously, writing poetry.
Another resolution that I made years ago was I was going to make the morning coffee. And I had to do that, as at the time the partner I had didn't seem to know how to make a good cup of coffee. And so
That wasn't me, right?
No, this was, I said the partner. This is ancient history. This is when
Ancient
Hopalong
history
Cassidy
partner.
was on TV,
Yeah, okay.
you know. Hi there, you know, Hoppy. And so I learned how to make a good cup of coffee.
Okay.
Now I don't drink coffee and it's completely wasted. But still, when I walk through yard sales and stores and I see sales on coffee makers and espresso machines, and I still have that yearning.
Yes, you do.
So sometimes resolutions can be a little tricky. But basically my resolution is to try to be friendly, to try to be of help to people, and to put as much of my time as I can into writing and art.
Those are very good resolutions for always.
Yeah.
As
Well,
opposed
let's
to
go
just-
home. I got stuff to do, and it's time.
Oh
and
dear.
I can't think of anything more that I want to say on the subject.
Why don't we talk about the year that has been?
Oh, that was the year that was. It's over. Let it go.
Yeah, really. I mean, what about all the weather?
The weather, well, the October surprise.
Mm-hmm. And thank heaven we haven't had any snow since.
And
I
we
mean, that was
probably
like we
won't.
got it all at once.
Yes. Well, as I told you at the time, I said, well, there goes winter.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have a very interesting year. It's a presidential election year.
This is true.
And
And you're going to make some new shows, some new
I'm
postcard.
going to revive
history.
history in the making. I'm going to be talking about vital issues of our times.
Good. I look
I'm
forward to
going
that.
I'm going to do 1 or 2 on Black history.
Mm-hmm.
If I had someone to share with, I would like that, but I think I can handle it
Oh, I think you can do it nicely.
myself and talk about Black America and
Mm-hmm.
the horrors of Black America, of 20th century Black
Yes.
America.
Well, The Help is a good. If anybody, you haven't read that or seen The Help, but you don't need to. You know all that anyway.
Well, I can presume what The Help was about. The Help, I think, was quite tame compared to Sinclair Lewis's novel, King's Blood Royal.
Yes, you've spoken about that.
In that Neil Kingsblood decides to look up his family tree,
Right.
and he has a speck of black blood. I'll say that fast. a
I
speck
expect
black
many of us
blood.
have more than a speck of black blood that we don't even know about if we
Well,
go
they did
far
him in
enough
his
back.
neighborhood, in his church,
Right.
and
Well, that
Lewis
was-
used that to really show
Yeah.
social attitudes. But what I'm going to try to point out is that what was then is reflective of what is now
Uh-huh.
in a very subtle, indirect way. And it all goes back to the Confederacy. And I'm going...
Well, it goes back before that. It goes back to slavery and
Right.
other things.
Sure.
You know, but those are all, you know, and you're wonderful with your political issues. I admire
Oh,
your
I talk
knowledge
too
of
much.
history.
I talk too much, and I preach to the choir.
I admire your knowledge of history. I have lots of things I'm knowledgeable about, but history isn't one of them. I just know bits and pieces.
I wouldn't say it's a knowledge of history as much as I'd say it's a good memory. And I remember things that happened.
Yeah.
Like I remember Al Gore being elected president. It was very big. Few shining hours,
Yeah.
Al Gore was president, you know. But Samuel York Tilden, who was a Democrat who ran against Rutherford B. Hayes, had the same experience.
Yeah.
So it's not just now, it's then and now. And
Well, and then there was a
go
headline
on.
that Dewey won.
Dewey defeats Truman
Yeah,
in 48.
Dewey defeats Truman.
Yeah.
That fooled a few people too.
But ostensibly, I think, for the new year and for the years ahead, that it would be perspicacious.
Oh, I love that word.
It would be perspicacious for people to think more about sharing with their neighbors.
Yes. Yes, you know, that's one thing about hard times, and I'm afraid that in many cases we are all involved in these hard times. In most cases, perhaps, that it can inspire people one of two ways: either to close down the drawbridge and not want anybody to come near them, or to open their hearts and share with people, because after all, that's an opportunity to do that. And I think, you know, I mean, why not have one lawnmower per neighborhood instead of having everybody has their foolish lawnmower? One person has one, and everybody helps pay for it and buy the gas and things and borrows it around and takes care of it. You know, I mean, those kinds of things.
Well, you'd be accused of being a socialist.
That to me, that's not socialism, though.
No, it isn't socialism, but you would be accused of being a socialism because the driving force of capitalism is ownership.
I suppose that, yeah, you know, that's right. Ownership.
Ownership.
Individual ownership.
Right.
Well, individual ownership.
I mean, how would you feel if someone out of the blue comes in and wants to use your stove?
Well, I'd say, how long do you need to use it for?
Every day for a couple of hours.
Well, that'd be okay, I guess.
You wouldn't mind that?
No.
That's
as
what
long
I
as,
love
as
about
long
you.
As they were, as long as they were tidy about their cooking and didn't mess up my
Good,
kitchen.
good.
I mean, you know.
Well, I think that with the economy the way it is, people are really going to need to button up and share.
What's
and
button up mean?
well,
Button up.
you button
That's
your coat when
Button,
it's cold.
you button up. That means you're not
Button
letting.
up your overcoat.
Yeah, but that's not letting people. That's not sharing. When you button up, that's not sharing.
Yeah, you don't get pneumonia though.
I
When
don't
it's
think you
windy
mean
and
button
cold,
up.
you
I think you
button
mean
up.
something different.
You think I mean something different? Okay. What do I mean? Tell me. What
Well-
am I thinking?
I
Let's
love
go.
it.
What am I
Wives
thinking?
are supposed to know what
In
their husbands are
truth,
thinking.
what I'm really thinking is who's going to play right field for the Red Sox. But I don't really let
Those are very
types
important
of-
things for you.
No, I'm
Which
just
don't mean
curious.
much to me, I fear.
They traded a great young right fielder.
Oh, it must be
Immediately-
sad for you. You make these remarks over breakfast about sports. They kind of go in one ear and out the other, and I try to remember the names because then I can look intelligent
forget
and
it. I
talk
don't-
about them.
I don't care right now who plays right field for the Red Sox.
Well, they're not playing now.
No.
It isn't spring training even.
And by the
When
time
does
they
that
are
start, spring training?
April,
Is it?
I think
No,
April.
honey, the first games are in April.
March, then
Maybe
March,
April? Maybe February?
February,
February
March,
spring training?
and I don't really care anymore. Maybe Tom Brady will play right field for the Red Sox. That might be good. He's got a good arm.
He's got a good arm, that's
He
right.
could peg it right in. I bet
He's got good legs.
Yeah,
Runs down the field fast.
but in terms of last year, and I fear in terms of this coming year, and this is why I'm doing Black America, as I was amazed, absolutely amazed, by the blatant racism from duly elected representatives of Congress toward the chief executive. And I wanted to show the origins of that. And my hope is that when our president sees his second term, that he will have a better handle on getting legislation through the gridlock that is Congress today.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting.
It's dysfunctional.
And I mean, as you said, I mean, this is an election year. It's also a leap year,
A leap year.
which means that
Women can kiss men.
no,
Wait. In the 1900s, every leap year, I believe it was 04, 08, 1912, many postcards would come out showing women doing outrageous things like running up to men and kissing them.
But that's only supposed to happen on the 29th of February.
Oh no, this is 365.
No, I believe that
No.
it's leap year day is when
Tasha,
women are supposed to be aggressive towards men, and not the rest of the year. That was the legend.
Well, in 2012, don't be surprised if you see more women pursuing men and kissing them and propositioning them and taking the whole leap year culture seriously.
Well, that's a good idea.
I hope so.
You know, predictions for the new year are always kind of fun, too. Ha, 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 ha. You got any predictions for the new year?
Predictions for the new year. Well, yes.
You're my favorite sidekick, you know.
What do I see for the new year? I think it'll be a very good year, as Frank Sinatra would have said, you know.
It was a very good year.
Yes, it'll be a very good year, and the 99% will organize.
I think the 99% are going to keep on organizing, and you
Yeah.
know, I don't think that's going to go away. I agree with you there.
It's going to be one of the most difficult elections.
I think it's going to be one of the most contentious elections. I don't know about the word difficult, but contentious for
Let's
sure.
just hope the votes all get counted.
Let's just hope that they don't use a lot of those
We're
voting
not
machines.
Florida, you know.
Those voting machines worry me.
Yes, the voting machines, a lot of things worry me. But we're here, and where could we go? The Isle of Wight, you know?
Exactly.
Budapest? I offered Mars, but you turned me down.
Oh, well,
So
you know, that's a bit far.
I threw away all my communiques to the government about our pioneering and moving to Mars.
I would rather not have to be a pioneer. I think being a pioneer might be rather rigorous. I'm getting a little old for rigor.
No.
Yes, I don't want to do rigor anymore.
You'd make a splendid pioneer.
Oh, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
If we had a schooner
I like my
wagon.
creature comforts too much. I like real toilets, for one thing.
You have them now in
Yes,
covered
I
wagons.
know. No, not in covered wagons.
Yes, you do. They're all set up. And
No.
It's
no
ultra
such
modern.
thing. No such thing. Not in covered wagons. No,
Not
no.
in covered wagons?
No, dear. No.
I know they've got Wi-Fi, and so you can be having your team of mules
I want to know what you're going to
crossing
shed.
Nebraska.
I'm really curious about that. I mean,
What I'm going to shed.
yes. What are you going to shed?
Everything I really don't
Where
need.
are you going to shed it?
I'm not sure about that. Bonfire in the parking
Throw
lot.
to the winds.
Next Christmas I'll be giving amazing gifts.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that so?
That is
Oh,
so.
well, that's an
Amazing
interesting
gifts
thought.
next Christmas.
How about that?
But all said and done, I think everything will be as it is intended to be.
Yes, I think that as it is intended to be, I don't think we can avoid as it is intended to be. The trick is to figure out a little bit and see if you can figure out what the intentions are before they happen.
You never know
Before they happen.
intentions. People come up with the strangest intentions, absolutely strange intentions. You have no idea what they are or what they mean. None. People say the darndest things. I mean, that's why I would rather ponder the real issues of my time.
The real issues of your
Like
time.
who's playing right field for the Red Sox.
Yeah, I hear you.
That to me is much more relevant than philosophical abstracts about centering around the capitalistic dynamic.
Let me think to me, what are my real issues of the time? I haven't ever thought about that, really. You know, there's a wonderful joke that goes, my husband, he makes all the big decisions. You know, he decides who is going to be, who is going to be playing right field for the Red Sox, and he decides, who is going to build the bridges to wherever, and so
He
on
has
and
no
so on.
business deciding who's playing right field for the Red Sox.
Whereas the wife, she makes the minor decisions like where are we going to live and what are we going to eat?
Yeah,
And how are we going to pay for it?
maternalism.
and
Good,
things of
bring that back. I like that.
Oh well, now it's.
Well-
I think each of us needs to do what we do best.
All I
Whatever
can
that
say
may
is,
be.
may you live as long as you laugh, and
And
may
laugh
you laugh as long as you live.
Yeah, I agree with that
And
one.
if we can So I'm going to try to laugh more next year,
Ooh, I think that's a wonderful idea.
whether it's funny or not. If I see somebody and I want to laugh, I'm going to laugh at
Point
them.
at them and laugh. Oh dear. No, no, don't do that, please. That's
Yeah.
a terrible idea.
Why?
Well,
It's healthy. It moves the lungs.
Yeah, I know.
It
But they
works.
can, no. People won't like it if you point at them and laugh. People may come after you.
Well, maybe they'd point at me and laugh, and we'd laugh.
You could laugh at each other.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try that.
But laughter, I'm going to try
Yeah.
to interject more laughter
More
into my
laughter.
life.
I think more laughter is an excellent idea.
It's vital.
Excellent. Excellent.
It's better than crying.
Yes.
Nobody wants someone who's sitting there weeping.
Weeping, I know. Or saying negative things.
But if I'm sitting here and I'm laughing,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing is, what is he laughing at? When you get past that one,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Ah.
But it's going to be an amazing year.
Yeah.
It really will be. I'm going to lose weight next year.
Where are you going to lose it?
I'm just going to lose it. I'm going to free it up and let it go.
Oh, sort of float away like
Float
a balloon?
away, yes.
Ah,
I'm
there's a
going
good
to-
thought.
This time next year, I'll be svelte.
I love that idea. You can be
Yes.
just as svelte as you like.
I'll be svelte. Maybe I can play right field for the Red Sox.
Oh, there's a thought.
You know, you never can tell.
Never can tell.
You never can tell these things.
Well, you know, there's the
And
perpetual
another
5
thing-
pounds that I've been working on for so long.
I'm going to
I'd
try
like to
not to
lose
be
that.
funny.
What?
I'm going to try not to be funny because I'm more funny when I try not to be funny.
I hear you.
The more serious I take things, the funnier they are, and the
You're
more
going
I
to
can
try
laugh
to
at
not
them.
be funny?
So I'm going to try not to be funny,
You're not?
but I'm going to try not to be serious.
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to try to be
Be.
innocent, loving, childlike.
Childlike?
Childlike.
Oh, please don't be too childlike.
Don't be too childlike.
You know what? We're down to 2 minutes.
You're kidding.
Yes.
The 2-minute warning.
The 2-minute warning. How
Oh,
did it
boy.
go so fast?
Gosh, it's the 2-minute warning.
And it's the new year, and it's not quite, for us, not quite to the new year yet, but it will be soon.
I'm looking forward to your watching the football game with me on Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
That's good.
Go Pats. It's
I
never
think that's
happened.
wonderful. Well, yeah, I can't help it if I don't like
just don't
men
like-
running around jumping on each other.
You don't like men jumping on each other.
Oh, it doesn't
Well,
make
you
sense
can
to me.
integrate the teams. You know, I think that would really boost the TV ratings.
Well, I don't know.
You know, if some of those
They look cute in their tight pants. That's about all I can say.
really okay. Well, I wish you a happy New Year,
And I wish you a happy new
an
year, beloved.
incredibly happy New Year.
And we'll be
Should
kissing each other
old
at midnight,
acquaintance
right?
be forgot and
never
evermore
brought
to
to
mind.
Should old acquaintance be forgot, and days of old lang syne.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, one and all.
I never met her, you know. Old Lang Syne. I've heard a lot about her, but we never met.